Hi, and welcome to another episode with the Pacific Northwest Sasquatch Research Group. I'm your host, Craig Yahne, and thanks for joining us. I'm here at Discovery Park in Seattle, Washington at the Indian Daybreak Culture Center. We're here for our second series of live Sasquatch Town-Hall meetings we're having in the Pacific Northwest. Be sure to come and join us. Let's go inside and check it out. Monster X Radio's here. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. So it's just a little bit of information about who I am and how I got started. I'm a professional cameraman. I work with the Seahawks and the Mariners and the Storm women's basketball. So I have a lot of camera experience, and that's why I wanted to get involved with Sasquatch. And that's down on the Seahawk field. There's Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. So just a little bit of information here on who I am and how I got started with the Pacific Northwest Sasquatch Research Group. I founded that. My dog, that's Rudy. Some of those pictures are in the areas of like Sasquatch Highway, and here's some old pictures. I did a lot of research in news articles on this presentation. The juveniles between the age of, if I can go back. No, it's not going to go back. But as you can see, these are skeletons that were found. The Serpent Mound is the tall one. Some of those were over 12 feet tall. This one right here is from Ohio. That's over 8 feet tall, has 7 fingers, and double rows of teeth. So if you know anybody from Ohio, ask them about the Indian burial mounds. They're really, really cool. I want to go back to that one. Here's some, which one? Yeah, just go back one more. Keep going. Yeah, that one. Hold that one if you can. So let me just show you a couple different numbers here. The Serpent Mound is 7 feet tall, and when you get down in here to Pennsylvania, they're 18 feet tall. These are archived news articles that you can do the research yourself and find that. This is the Love Rock Rancho, California, 12 feet tall. Arkansas, 10 feet tall. Catalina Islands, right off the coast of California, 9.2. San Diego, 8.4. These are just some of the giant skeletons that you can actually find on archived library news articles. So it's pretty easy to find those. It took me about 2 weeks. The Ohio one, which really fascinated me, was the double row of teeth and the 6 and 7 fingers. on some of these. There's a good article there, but I just want to keep it short right now. This is my second time doing a presentation, so. I just really like that photo. You can really tell how well preserved it was. Here's some living people with the fingers right here. Just hold that. This kid here's got 6 here, 6 here. This guy's got 7. And I tried to find out the gentleman on the right where he was from, but the article didn't really divulge it. It just talked about his unique finger system that he had. I'm sure he had some toes that were probably 6 or 7 feet, appendages on his toes. But you can see in the kid one right here, it's really fascinating to see that. I had a cat once that had 6 toes. How many people had a cat that had 6 toes? You had one? Yeah. This was just another example of how tall some of the people in Rome. Maximus was 8'6", and he towed around carts in Rome during the big battles in Rome. Here's some more living pictures. These guys were all living humans that were incredibly tall. You might have recognized this gentleman right here. How many people have seen him before? Yeah, he was the tallest man in the world, over 8 feet tall. And those were 2 twins right there, 2 brothers. They're the Bates brothers. Just a couple more pictures of they've been around quite a while. He had a short life though. He could have lived longer, and he might have grown taller too. He might have been 9 feet tall. The picture on the right is actually a tomb that was found, and they excavated that tomb, and that's how big that mummy was when they found it, in the skeleton. And the relief carvings are just examples of giants that were way back in the time carved out. And that's one of the largest femurs ever found in North America. And just some more information. Just recently, you probably heard about it in the Philippines, they found hobbits, so I threw that in there. The pygmy skeletons were dug up in South Dakota. And then on this side, these are giants who lived in Sycamore Creek. They were huge, over 9 feet tall. And just more news articles. It's pretty easy to find. It's interesting that they cover up giants if you look into it at all. The Smithsonian doesn't even want to talk about it.
Like the Anunnaki?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
There's some pictures of the older. These are the Indian burial mounds. That's what it looks like today. It's black and white. They got into that tomb. That's where some of the giants were found. And then I'm just going to jump from the Sumerian tablets. I just kind of correlated that because the Sumerian tablets talk about, if you know about the Nephilims in the Sumerian tablets, I correlate that together. Some more ancient skeletons. And the ones down on the bottom right were incredibly tall, close to 12 feet tall. Look at the legs. Right there and right there. Those are some pretty big legs. And then just the last pictures here of Robert, and then I'm going to go jump into the Sasquatch, similarities of how Sasquatches are. And you can go past that one too. Oh yeah, this one was a good one. This is in front of a store in New York. It was on display. If you look real close, there's the pygmy, and then there's the giant skeleton. So that's a one-of-a-kind picture right there. And then I just correlated the skeleton to a human, what a Sasquatch would look like, according to Jeff Meldrum and his dimensions and drawings, and some of the computer graphics you can do. But here are the 4 species that are identified now with Sasquatch. You got your type 1, that's the patty, flat, you got flat teeth. Then you got the type 2, the canines, and then the type 3 with the snout muzzle, and then your type 4, which is more humanistic looking. One of the interesting things about these is the eyebrow area. If you look at it, and the facial similarities, and sort of. How many people went to KELSO and Longview for Sasquatch Fest? There you go. This Sasquatch is from down there. I found it in the paper article. Who knows if it's true or not. Here's some more of the cryptovarious in weight, size, and appearances. I certainly wouldn't want to run into that one if I was in the woods. That one would scare the hell out of you. Here you go again. That one, from what I understand, when people are emailing me and talking to me on my Facebook page, the one over in the Middle East, in the United States of North America, that's the one that's running around over there. Over here, we get these two right here. I think that's why they call it the BOOGER monster.
Do you think one of them is accountable with the, yeah, I mean, it's got to be
Absolutely.
carnivorous. Yeah.
Some of the articles I've read from way back in like hunters, fishermen from way back, and a lot of Native Americans will talk about it with their elders, and they'll talk about it to their younger generation so they can carry the history on, is they talk about some of these who are very cannibalistic.
Yeah.
And I think some of them have even talked about it. Thomas talked about it a little bit. You have to respect them. If you're going into their woods, it's their house, play fair, you know. I've read some, like hunters being chased, even that one story that 3 guys on a horse were chased and they got chased into a cabin and then the Sasquatch attacked the cabin, multiple Sasquatch. So I don't know. I haven't been chased yet. Just more different species which can be identified. And my big one is what I want to do is like killer whales. People have heard about eye shine. That's a good number. From what I understand is that they produce the eye shine. It's not a reflection. So that's really interesting to me. And infrasound. How many people know about infrasound? Here's a white one. There's a video out that shows a white albino type style Sasquatch. There's been a few of them. This picture here was taken recently and sent to me, and the guy did not tell me, somewhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Could you explain infrasound, please? Yes.
It's like a whale or a dolphin being able to blast you and then freeze you to knock you down. Before it stuns fish. Like,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah.
And elephants and tigers do that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. If you're out and you come across a Sasquatch, it's a good possibility they might try and use that on you to stun you or freeze you and grab you maybe, or just interact with you. Hopefully the interaction is the big one.
Just by a noise that they make.
Yeah, as you heard the sound from David Ellis and Shane and Julie, Ron Moorhead's a personal friend of mine. After 5 years of doing conferences, I was hired as a conference. And when I started, everybody, I did not believe. I'm a grounded hiker, fisherman. My dad was a hunter, fisherman, and my uncle worked on the Elwha River system over in the Olympics. And he was an expedition leader, but I didn't really think back then. I'd heard about it, but I didn't really know about it as much as I do now. And I am a true believer now, so it's pretty fascinating. That's it. Pacific Northwest Sasquatch Research Group. We're in the 2nd year and it's growing like crazy. I am on YouTube, so I go out. I'm an active researcher. I love hiking and going out. I go out with Roland. I go out with Brent Dill. He was here. I saw him. I haven't gone out with Philip, but I'd love to get out with him and Shane and Gunnar and Derek and some of the other folks here. If you want to go out, get a hold of me. My card's on the table right over there. Mike Thompson is my editor. He's with Victory Studios, worked there for 15 years. 15 years. And Dallas is our audio guy. He's here. I'd like to thank him. Roland.